Shalom, balance, paradise. Welcome back. We here in the building, lockdown time. But I'm coming through with a special guest, very
Hey,
special guest. And I ain't gonna intro too much because we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna unpack the mind of this sibling. So, San Antonio's own Big Liveola is in the building. What do you do, sibling?
what's up, man? I'm out, man. What's up with it?
Definitely. Chilling, man. Global lockdown. We're in the building, man. We're in the building. So, sibling, thank you very
Talk
much
to me.
for the build, man. Thank you very much for the
No,
build. I
no,
think it's
thank y'all, man. Thank y'all, man. I didn't know y'all was messing with me out there, man.
sibling. Come on, we mess with Texas heavy out here, man.
I had
Heavy.
no idea. I had no idea.
You see, from let me just give you a little ski taste. See, from 92, I got introduced to Rap a Lot Records,
Okay.
Gangster Nip, Ghetto Boys,
Oh
Seagram.
man.
From
Yeah.
there, it was like,
All,
yay.
all the
And
way
then,
out there.
yeah, man.
Man, man,
We
it's hard
got
for
we
my
got
mind to wrap around that, but that's cool, man. Man, that's cool.
way across these shores, man. And every time I reach out to people and express the fact that, you know, man's, you're producing music and you might think it's just touching, the 50 states. Nah, man,
Yeah.
this is everywhere.
Man,
Yeah,
it's crazy. I love it.
it
I love it,
is.
man.
And then I think the first screw I got was the first screw I got I think was 3 in the morning. At
Man,
three.
me too. Me too. That's how I got
Yeah.
introduced to it. 3 in the morning, man. Man, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That was like what, 94. I think, it was 94,
Yes.
93.
Them kind of times around that kind of period. Yes, yes, yes. And then from
Man,
there, we just started to search and search. Then Swisha House, Swisha Bias, and you know,
and it's crazy because the internet wasn't really popping then, man. So for you got a hold of that over there. That's mind blowing, man. That was
it,
like it was hard to get a hold of that like down here. Like if you was in the know, then But when you were playing stuff like where you get that? It wasn't at the regular music stores and nothing like that. There was no internet, so you had to know. That's cool, man.
definite. And it was sibling. It was costly for us to get them CDs over here. You're talking about dollars. We're talking maybe like $30-$40 a CD to get that.
Wow, wow. They were like $10 over here.
You see, it's straight profit, man.
Man,
So yeah, man, we've been marinating on this, man. We've been marinating, and for me, I'd like um up there in regards to the top echelons, in regards to the flows, the raps, the
man,
content,
man. I
um,
appreciate that, man.
and we can
I appreciate it.
see from what y'all were doing back then, 90s even to the early thousands, the the
Mm.
the the style and the influence has trickled all the way up Midwest, made its way up all the way up to the East Coast, and
Right.
everybody now, you know, they're doing what
Yeah.
y'all were doing like maybe 15, 20 years back.
Man, yeah. You know what? I did kind of notice that, but I don't want to be like, too egotistical saying that or whatever. But yeah, the formula, man, rapping on other people's beats, just like going all the way through sometimes, with no hooks and things like that. Yeah, I do see the formula trickle. Everybody kind of made it their own, But man, that's cool, man. To hear from somebody else, especially somebody in the UK, man, that's big, man. That's huge.
Because we examine it, man. We examine it, we hear it, we unpack it, and if it's dope, it's dope. If it ain't, then simply it ain't. But yeah, man, there's a big hardcore following of to be fair, I wouldn't even just say coastal wise, good music. We appreciate good music out here. So, you know, if you put it out, it's gonna be received. It's definitely going to be received.
Man, I'm speechless. I'm speechless, man. I didn't. I really didn't expect this on this, man. Man, I'm speechless, man. That's beautiful, man. Man, you make this stuff, and really, you're really making it for the people that are immediately surrounding you, because that's like the your immediate feedback, that's like the vibe and everything, and then after time goes, it takes on legs of its own and it does its own thing, but to hear that part, man, like, man, it's crazy.
It's music, as you don't know, Sibling, this music is powerful, man. It's so powerful. It has the ability to incite so many different emotions and stuff. And
Right.
the good thing I can say, and especially now looking back on it now with a more mature head,
Right.
I didn't really hear too much gun violence in your raps. And if it was, it was either, similes, etc., or you're telling a story about a situation, like truth music. So
right.
for me, that is it's important to be able to find a balance, because it's, as I say, it's an art form and it incites so many different emotions and stuff. So it's so easy to rhyme with these, this, as I would put it today, is death culture, because there's a lot of quite negative music, which sounds cool, and the talented people.
I'm glad you touched on that. Look, this is the thing. I don't really know how. Like, I know the vibe over there. The vibe is different city to city. I'm sure it's night and day over there. Well, I'm from San Antonio. It's how I put it, like, it's very violent. It's violent, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people rap and things like this, but there has to be something about you, or it has to be. I don't know. I really can't put the formula like a recipe, like
mm-hmm.
this and this, but they won't accept you or even listen to anything you say if they don't believe you,
Yes.
And it can't be too soft, or you can't come off like you're being too hard, or and I've seen it backfire on some people, but so there had to be a little of that, but not,
mm-hmm.
There had to be, you got it, it had to be that, and a little of that, a little of this, whatever. But it's just real tough, man. It's real tough. There's a lot of talent really in my city, man, but a lot of dudes that try to stray away from one thing more than the other, or just weren't believable or whatever, they got lost in the sauce, man.
Yes. Not really relying on and having confidence in themselves and saying, look, I know I got the talent. As you say, you do have to cater to, a broad audience. So you've got to give them a little piece of everything, but you can't let that change who you are as a person. And as you say, it's credibility.
See, I grew up in it, so I understand like the mentality or whatever, but it's how do I put it? They won't just accept just talent, they and your reputation and how you handle certain things, like people are watching all of that, and there's some dudes that are just extremely talented, but the city didn't grab them like that, And I went to other cities though, man, it's different. People will celebrate you just on your success, just on your talent, just on, being a likable person or this and that. But San Antonio is a real hard place, and they want to know you're official, in a street type of way,
Yes.
But once you do that, there, then they're cool with it, man. But it's really tough to make the city accept you in San Antonio. I'm so grateful that they accepted me and embraced me the way they did,
So what do you think that was? What do you contribute that to? Just being real, just being the person you are, a stand-up person, and putting it out there.
Aside from the music part, like I was really in the streets. Like I'm really in the streets. I'm really like in not bragging on it or nothing like that, but I was really in the streets, participating in street stuff, like, and people knew,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big part of it. And then I wound up going to prison. Another thing I'm not proud of, for a murder, And a lot of people that were doubtful, you know, this is how my city is. A lot of people that were doubtful, like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. And then everything just, I guess they just took a new ear to what I was saying, you know.
Because you got that jacket now, I guess, in it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they, you know, everyone loves a damn fool, man. You know, everyone loves, you know, even if they're not participating in the streets or doing crazy things like that, they want their favorite rapper to, you know, they want their favorite rapper to, you know, be busting a gun, be selling all these drugs, you know, that's the criteria there for some reason, you know.
You know what it is? You see, a lot of people, fans, I would say, they live vicariously through the artist, and because you know they think because you're an artist and you're saying certain content, then your lifestyle should back that up. You shouldn't have a wife and a settled household. You should be running the streets doing all kind of madness.
Right. Well, you know, and the punchline to that is these days, man, I'm a family man. You know, I just had a son. You know, I'm in the house. I'm not in the streets. I'm not running around doing all that. You know, but the point's been proven, I guess. You know, I regret many of the dumb things I did, and I lost a lot of time. You know, but I'm still allowed to eat. You know, my city still allows me to eat. They still, you know, they still support the things I do. So, and. You know, I know it's bigger than just a city or a local thing or whatever, but I just feel like, man, if your city doesn't accept you, you know, your area don't accept you, I just don't see, you know, I don't see it going anywhere else, you know.
Right,
y'all be rocking with me in the UK. That's mind blowing, man. That's mind blowing. It was really like a neighborhood thing. It was really like a neighborhood thing on my side of town type thing, you know. And then it went outside the city, then it went outside the state, you know, but out of the country, my mind can't even wrap around that, man.
See, it's a foundation, as you say. You know, you've got to set the tone where you're at first before you can, you know, those roots got to grow where you lay your heads, and then you can flourish and grow.
Right.
Man, okay. So let's rewind time. Let's rewind time a little bit. So. Before, let me think. What was the first? Was it Grill Skills and Purple Pills?
The very first one was Third Coast from the Sun.
Okay, with the astronauts.
Yeah. It was a playoff of Third Rock from the Sun. It was a movie. Yes. I mean, a TV show that was on over
here. Okay. So how did it all start? How did it all start before we made that first album? How did you become Big Liveola?
Okay, well, I had gotten a little bit of trouble and went to TYC. That's like a youth prison out here, and I wasn't really too much on rap or whatever. I mean, I liked rap, but I didn't really rap or write raps or whatever. But and when you go to this particular place, it's not like a juvenile, like a city thing. Everyone from the state is locked up together. So I was locked up with some Houston dudes, and they man, it was like that, like the tapes I had heard, you know, steps slow down, but they were freestyling, and I was like, man, I could do this, you know. So, but I'm locked up, and I'm doing it well, like I've been doing it, you know. And they're like, man, you should really do something. So anyway, I get out and I make a little, you know, a little in-house. Probably, man, if I heard it today, I'd probably cringe. Terrible tape, but it was cool for the times, and the store owner named Juan Gonzalez at Urban City, he was the one. That's where we got our school music and our Swisha House. You know, Swisha House was the second wave after the school movement. You know, it was like a more newer thing at the time. You know, it was Northside Houston, and that's what we identified with the most. We were Northside San Antonio. So he knew all those dudes. He knew Slim Thug, Paul Wall, Camille there, and this and that. We never seen them. This is before internet. We don't even know what these people look like. We just know this music. We don't even know their real voices. We don't know their real voices because everything's screwed, you know, 10%.
Slow. Yeah.
You know. So he's like, hey, you made this? I'm like, yeah, I made this, you know. And he grabbed a couple other dudes. They were doing their own little solo thing. He was like, man, I'm gonna put together a project with Paul Wall, Camille, Slim Thug compilation. And I want to put some San Antonio dudes on it because we never had that in San Antonio at that time. You know, there was some older groups, but it wasn't this genre. So we did it, man. And that was the first project, had everybody that was popping in Texas before the big Texas wave took off. And man, that was huge for us. That was huge for the city, you know. And man, it was a nice ride. That was the another ride.
That was a powerful mixtape, though. And that,
for the time though, because I still cringe when I go back and I do, you know, we were super amateur with it.
Yeah, sibling. But for the first attempt, and if you're saying that's your first attempt in the thing, you know,
yeah, right.
Of course, you know, through time you're gonna revisit it and think, shit, yeah, I could have did this or whatever. But yo, that was live, man. That was definitely cool.
At the time, that was like the craziest shit ever. That was like monumental, you know, like it's really hard to explain like a space and time, you know, way later. But for the city, for that time, that was like, oh man, we're here, we got something, you know.
Definitely. So who was there any other groups? I mean, you did say there was other because before you guys came out, I didn't know of anybody from San Antonio.
Okay, there was a Lil Sin. That was probably the earliest dude I heard. He had a song with UGK.
Oh, Lil Sin. I know him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was Lil Sin. Then there was PKO. I want to say they were on some screw tapes. Don't quote me, but you know, the older cats. I think they're probably close to 50 now. You know,
PKO's in Pounds, Keys, and OZs.
Yeah. Dang.
They were Satan. I didn't know they were Satan. Nino Brown and
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was. But yeah, I understand. That was like, you know, damn near a decade before us. You know.
Yes.
So when the Swisha House thing started coming in 99, 2000, that's all we cared about. And then shoot, man, you fast forward, man, I would say within a 18-month span, I know all these people, man. It might have been Jay-Z, you know, the biggest names, you know, that's in the game now. Like to me, then that was it. We made
exactly.
it. We made it. You can tell me nothing, man.
Definitely. So what was it like? Sort of meet, as you say, you listen to them on screw CDs and grey tapes and that. Yeah. So what was it like first meeting Slim and did you ever meet ESG in that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I met ESG. I don't have no music with ESG, but I got music. You know, Slim, Paul Walsh, Lil Kiki, Lil O, Killer Calleon. Well, that Killer Calleon was later, but all the old Swisha House dudes, Blindside, Big Tyke.
Okay.
You know, all those dudes before the Mike Jones and all that. But
yeah.
To me, there was none greater, man. None greater. Like I'm listening to these dudes getting dressed in the morning, like, you know, like rapping their verses in the mirror, like I'm them, you know. And then all of a sudden, boom, I got songs with them. Boom, I'm on shows with them. Like, a dream come true, man. Dream come true.
Definite, man. Definite. I mean, that's big. I mean, it's clearly, as you say. I mean, Swisha House came and really made it, you know, blow up the screw sound and obviously the chopping of it, and made it, I think, a lot more Michael Watts, exactly. OG1C.
I believe Michael Watts was the first one. No. Slim Thug was the first one. I went to do the My Block with Slim Thug, but then I went to Michael Watts to do Chopping Them Up 6. That was I think that came out before that though, but yeah, that's when I was on their stuff. You know, I was on the Swisha House and things like that, which was stepped it up another level. You know, but just knowing Watts, you know, like I could hit him up now, like. Still, to me, like a lot of people, you know, that time and faded or whatever, you know, or you know, it's not that special, but still to me, man, it's just the greatest thing ever, man.
Golden era. That was the golden era, man. That you know, without certain, obviously, DJ Screw, Rising Paradise, if he didn't do what he did and make it as popular, and then you know what was the colors again? Red was north and south was blue, or was it vice versa?
North was blue, south was red.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, and bringing forth that unity, man. I mean, because ultimately, I think, obviously, it's things happen and stuff, but I didn't think there was that much of a division. And when was it ESG and Slim Dog was on that record together? Was it Brazen Fades?
Absolutely. You see, because it was a big beef in Houston. I'm actually living in Houston right now, but it was a big beef in Houston, man. And a lot of the Northside dudes, they were Northside beefing with Southside, but they didn't want to be jamming Southside music. They wanted their own, you know. So that's where Swisha House filled that niche. Well, boom. Well, guess what? Well, on my side of town, we were like, they were hollering Northside for Houston. Well, my side of town were like, we're Northside too, so we're using that as our anthems, you know. And then boom, and then follow up. I'm on the songs with them, hollering Northside for real, upset, so, you know, like just trying to explain like the feeling and you know how it was embraced, man.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah, man. That's memory lane. That's taking me back straight down memory lane with that there. So as far as the group now, what's I mean, I've seen some videos of you and King Kylie on YouTube. Are the other members still making material and stuff? Marky G and
Marky G is locked up right now. You know, he's having a hard time in life, man. But I'm still cool with him. We're still cool with him. The other one is famous. He got signed by Chameleon, and I don't really know.
Lil Ken.
Yeah, Lil Ken. Yeah, I don't know if he's too busy, man. He's they got their own little issues. But the most active is me and Kyle. You know, still.
Yeah. Okay. So what's in the lab getting cooked up at the moment? Obviously, we're all locked away at the moment, so I'm sure man must be thinking up or cooking up some nice projects to be produced.
I actually just wrote a new project, wrote the whole thing out. I'm building a home studio now so I can record it, so I can't go to the studio. But Hawaii Liveola's next. I had just dropped While You Were Sleeping. I dropped about 5 projects since I've been home. I've been home about a year and a half, you know. So I like to drop every 2-3 months mixtape.
I need to play Catch Up Sibling because the last full project I had was Program to Wreck.
Oh man. Oh, man, no, not bragging, man. I've probably dropped 50 projects since then, you know. Even when I was locked up, I was dropping them projects. So that was my first solo. So I mean,
that was big, man. That was big. Big.
That was big for me at that time too.
Like 23 tracks or something like that on there. That was a full.
We don't do that no more. I don't do that no more.
It's pay styles only now, man.
Yeah, I could make probably 2 projects out of 23 tracks.
Definite, man. Definite. So, as I say, with this global pandemic that's hitting the world, I mean, trustfully, you know, have you been affected at all much by this?
Yeah, it kind of hit close to home. We in November I went probably the biggest artist I ever made any music with, Fred The Godson. In November, the project for that was New Jack Live, the New York recording. So I go to New York for about a week, and you know, I shot a video with Fred The Godson, made some music with him, and you know, he just passed away 2 days ago from coronavirus. You know, complications due to coronavirus, man. So you definitely affect me, man. You know, and that trip right there to New York was like so inspirational, so motivational, man. Just talking to them, man, seeing how they operate, man, just feeling like I needed to step my game up. You know, the process and him making his music, man. I had some doubts in my head. Maybe I was doing too much in the song, trying to be, you know, going over people's heads. You know, and after that trip, I was like, nah, I need to turn it up more. You know, and everything about him and Arsonist from Heatmakers. It's a Dipset studio in Manhattan, man. I seen it, and I was so inspired when I came home. And the last I seen him, he was congratulating me on my son. I just had a son; he's 3 months, and man, the man passed away, man, due to that. So I'm definitely respect coronavirus, and I'm definitely staying out the way, you know. And I
Rising in
encourage,
Paradise.
I encourage anybody has any doubts. Hey, it's a real deal, man. You know, and it's taking lives out here, man.
Yeah, man. Agreed. Agreed. Riding Paradise to Fred The Godson. And
Fred The
as you say,
Godson.
you gotta be diligent out here, man. Whether as we briefly touched on earlier, people have been hypothesizing, etc., etc. And I'm not even going to get into any detail, but whether you don't think this is something, you still gotta protect your family. So
Right. You know, some people are asymptomatic. You know, you might have it and not even feel any symptoms, but pass it along to your family. You know, I have a newborn son. You know, newborns and the elderly, the chance of surviving is very slim. You know, I would hate to be sloppy out there and bring it home to my son or anyone, you know, in my household, anyone I care about, man. So yeah, definitely. You gotta protect yourself to protect everyone else, you know.
True. That is a 1000% true, man. It's unfortunate. I mean, one thing I'm not too happy about is the non-transparency, I would say, of the of what we've been told. It's just so much different information we're told, and
Right.
it's not conducive for everybody to have receipt of the correct information, the right information, and make informed decisions. When this first had started, they were saying all kind of rhetoric about black people can't get it and all this kind of stuff, and now black people are the worst ones affected, and we gotta it's like, come on, man, like, be responsible. And then they were making the media were basically enticing people to go out and get toilet paper by promoting the fact that there's all these panic buying going on. It was wasn't the best situation at all, man. But the majority, I mean, what's the picture like in San Antonio? I mean, are most people like staying indoors and stuff and social distancing?
You know, I wish I could say people were down here, but they're not. A lot of people don't respect it. A lot of people don't care. People are still having house parties and running around. You know, I see some people that I guess they do care, but they just don't care enough. You know, they might have a mask on or something, but they got their kid in the shopping cart without a mask on. You know, like, it's I don't know. I really don't understand. I really don't understand. You know, but
I guess for those people, especially for the ones who who are having house parties in this car, that baffles me. That does, but until something happens to them personally, then they'll realize that this is something serious.
I just told my girl that until it gets close enough to home for them, they're not going to respect it. You know, that's how a lot of people are, though. You know, they got to feel it before they believe it. You know, I've bumped my head enough in life to try to course correct miles away from the problem. For real.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They get to the stage where as our mothers used to say, if you can't hear, you must feel in it. So was it a hard head makes for a soft behind?
Right. Unfortunately, this is the deadly game, though. You know. The consequences are real severe. You know?
So, what do you paint a picture when can you see this us coming back to some form of normality?
You know what, man? I thought it would have been taken care of at least by June, but man, who knows, man? Every time I tried to get a date in my head, I was thinking maybe November. Somebody was saying, man, this might take a whole year, you know, because they're about to reopen all these businesses, and so a lot of people are gonna think it's all right, like everything's done, you know, and then there might be another spike or might not, you know. Who knows? Who knows?
It's right, because isn't Atlanta opening up?
Yeah, it's like I think they're opening. Well, I'm in Houston, man. I think they're opening Houston back up this week, right? There, Monday.
Well, everything or just all phased?
What is it? I think I think the county decides who opens up or who not. I don't think it's full phase, but you know. enough, I guess, for economic reasons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's hurting everybody. I mean, there's lots of businesses that are gonna, who have shut in essence. They've wound up. There's people who have
Right.
lost their jobs and stuff. So from an economical standpoint, um, yeah, we need to, obviously the wheels need to keep turning, but at the same time, we've got to balance that with life and stuff. So
Exactly.
it's tricky, real
Exactly.
tricky. But hasn't there been a state, not a state actually, no, there was a place in Europe who hasn't had a lockdown. I think it's Switzerland or Sweden, and they haven't had any lockdown or anything, and they're still going.
Right.
Uh,
I think they had very few deaths though too, right? Like 20 deaths or
yeah,
something. Um,
it's. Yeah, I never
but I mean,
thought I'd
but still
experience this.
culturally down here, this is everyone's shaking hands and hugs and in each other's faces, sharing blunts. Like, this is the worst place for epidemic, especially something to be spread the way it is. Just culturally, everybody is in everybody's face. Like that's how New York. I don't know if you ever been to New York. In New York, everyone's on top of each other, so they had it the
Yeah.
worst.
Hmm.
Every surface you touch, probably hundreds of people, if not thousands of people have touched that surface before someone's wiped it down. Even thought to wipe it down. Heavily trafficked. So
Heavily trafficked, and you got the subway system, and you've got it being a mecca for all of the tourists and stuff. So you've got
right, right.
a multitude of nations going in and out of that place. And that's
Right.
what isn't that New York one of the New York and Jersey one of the highest hit places?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trustfully, we can see through this and see some light through the forest.
I tell you what, though, after this is all over with, everything's not going to be 100%. It's just like the generation that lived through the Great Depression or lived through certain like worldwide calamities or serious calamities.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they're not going to take their mask off. They're going to take them gloves off. So they're social distancing for the rest of their life just out of fear what they just went through. I don't think
Well,
things will ever return to 100%. You know.
well, I don't think it will, and you're right. You hit the nail on the head with that because they've been talking about talks at least of permanently having face masks on in the UK.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've had this similar talks in the US, but it's I think I mean there's precautions and stuff. I mean, like for instance, one thing that's quite baffling of sorts. Well, no, yeah, quite baffling is like when this first started happening, they were like, yeah, you need to wash your hands every time you go to the restroom and etc. etc. But shouldn't people have been doing that anyway?
Right. 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 Right.
you know,
Correct.
it's
Correct.
just basic
You'd
things,
you'd be
and
you'd be surprised how many grown people don't even cover their mouth when they cough, or turn away and cover when they sneeze. You'd be surprised. You know.
yeah, yeah. You gotta limit your access. I mean, and unfortunately, if you're not raised, because clearly, this comes down to raising and how you're reared. If you're not raised with, with certain
Right.
sensibilities,
Right.
then you're not gonna know. And until someone points out and say, "Yo, bro, you can't be doing that. Don't you remember what's just
Right.
happened? How many people have died? Cover up your
Right.
mouth."
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting and sad at the same time.
Mhm.
There was another. It hasn't been confirmed as of yet, but there's another artist died, UK artist, Black the Ripper. Um, it hasn't been confirmed. He died in Montserrat in the Caribbean. They're supposed to be doing an autopsy, but
Oh
based
man.
upon yeah,
Oh
um,
man.
he was only young as well. It's only like 32 or 33.
Ugh.
Yeah, rough, rough, rough. So
And I heard the
it's tough.
Caribbean had low death rates because of the heat. Because
Very
the heat
low.
was, yeah, that's what I heard. Because the heat was killing the virus. But man, oh man.
So they say. So they say. I mean, it's Saint Lucia. They've had 15 cases of infection, no deaths, and the 15 cases have all got better. So it's some islands and some places are kind of winning, but at the same time, I mean, the majority of the Caribbean is on like a pretty much a 24-hour lockdown. So you literally can't go nowhere. You ain't going out in your boat to fish.
Right.
You ain't doing nothing, man. So it's tough. It's tough for people in the first quote unquote first world, like in America, Europe, and the UK. It's
Right.
tricky, but at least we can go to the supermarket and and get
Right.
food and shit.
Well,
Whereas
people over here were screaming rights violations for having to being forced to wear a mask.
what?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Feel like they're violating their amendment rights to freedom of this and that. Like, man, it's crazy. But I seen like I think it was in India. They had the police on the street hitting people with sticks for not social distancing. Some people need that.
You caught that shit as well, Sublin. Yeah. Those come up with them long
you gotta
sticks,
protect
man.
people from themselves,
Yes. It's yeah. It's 2020. Let's be positive and as I say, let's just stay diligent in this thing, man. Let's just stay diligent. Big Liveola. So what is the best way for people to get a hold of you? What's all your socials and all that there?
Yeah, man, hit me on IG, man, at Big Big Liveola, Liveola, Big Liveola, man. And yeah, just hit me on that, man. The Facebook is already kind of packed up, man, but that's the best way, man.
And would you work with any UK artists and stuff like that? You open for that kind of?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see if we can make that happen, man.
And
Because
if you got somebody, you feel it's popping, whatever, man, I'll trust your judgment, man. Link it up, we'll get it done, man.
Definite, man. Definite. I'll make some inquiries. I've got a few people in mind already. Make that Bromtown to Satan connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that vibe too, man. Like that Pop Smoke was getting on, man.
Yes.
I forgot even the word for the genre, man. But I like that vibe, man. I'd like to do a mashup with that. Man.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm quite old school to a point, but I know who you're talking about, and I think he was doing like a kind of grime style of rap.
Grime, yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we can do that deal, man. As I say, he's sort of like
I think that would be quite interesting, man. Like kind of mashing the styles or whatever with it, figure it out.
100, man, 100. That would be flipping. That would be out of this world. a meeting of two different worlds in essence. You know what I mean? It's a few thousand miles separating us. We can do that, man. I'll see if I can hook up Sibling most definitely on that. Yeah. It's been an honor, man. It's been an honor.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Nah, no problem at all, man. No problem at all. And when can we potentially expect that? What was the name of that project you said again?
Hawaii Live-O, like a play off the old show, Hawaii 5-0.
Yes.
Hawaii Live-O. Give me about a month. I'll drop it. I'm building a studio as we speak right now. It's already got the beats. Just got to lay the vocals and master. So rap.
Excellent. And feature wise, who can we expect on that? Are we going to get a 50-50 little twin on there, or who are we going to get on that there?
My boy, man. I should. He lives just down the street, man. There's nothing, man. But yeah, we definitely got some music coming up. We always make music together. The Hawaii Live-O, I didn't think I was gonna do no features because I haven't had a project that I had 0 features on, so I was gonna try that out. But definitely, man, I'm always trying to work.
Definite. And what? Just mentioning 50. What about Magnificent? Is he still around?
That's my boy too. Yeah, that's my boy too, man. Yeah, we've been supposed to link back up and do something, man. I think he's just been busy. Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Or I'll need to do like a Trader Hardway album, man. That'll be thrilled, man.
Man, man. Have you interviewed? Have you ever interviewed them yet?
I'm waiting for just to tie up some dates with 50 with 50. But we're gonna get it popping, man. We're definitely gonna get that popping.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you need a link to Magno, man, I can link that up too, man.
Oh, most deaf. Greens Point, yes, 1,000. Yes. Honest, it's been honest. It's been a pleasure, and I'm most definitely gonna have you back on the broadcast again to pick your minds and get into some more detail. We can chop it up again.
Man, I sincerely appreciate you, bro.
Give thanks. Enjoy your day. Stay diligent, and 1,000 sibling.
All right.